Lady, you caught me scratching my nose. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the program. Welcome to the show. This is Mark Vlogs Watches. Sorry about the light behind me. A Rebel stream, which I will explain. Thank you so much for joining me and spending your time with me today. Well, I didn't expect to be with you tonight, but apparently I will be Rebel streaming for the near future. And I will explain that in just a moment. And I will also repeat the quick fist watch check more than once as people come into the room. Right now, I am wearing the Omega Seamaster, or as Clyde the Rancher likes to call it, the Seaman Master. Guys, you see that light behind me? Give me a second. I'm going to turn it off. You will hear me as I go. But let me just turn this glare off behind my head. Here I am. I'm coming back. Promise. And here we are. Okay. So, first off, why am I Rebel streaming again? Again with the Rebel streams. I don't even know what number this is. So, I mean, I got no problem. At the end of the day, Archie and I are okay. But someone paid $250 to ban me until January. And I got a big mouth, people. I can't just sit around till January waiting for Archie. I mean, honestly, there's one or two nice guys in that panel. Mike the Snake is a nice man. But what a bunch of no talents on that panel, basically. I mean, people you never heard of, people you never cared. Archie barely talks anymore. So I just can't hardly stand the idea of going back. So I think I need to like cheat on my girlfriend Archie and do something terrible so I make sure she won't take me back. Because she's like a bad habit. She's like the fat chick that I keep going back to, and I don't even know why. Grubnob is available as a guest. Give me a minute, Grubnob. I'm going to give you a link. I'm Tom Austin. Mark, how you doing? Me? I'm great. I'm not on Archie anymore. I'm wearing an Omega Seamaster. And tonight I think I want to talk a little bit about the Rolex Challenge watch. I'll tell you my thoughts on the Rolex Challenge. Oh, and if you are watching this not live, but when it posts up to YouTube later, so you're watching it as a YouTube video, if you're irritated by all these hellos and highs, just move ahead about 5-6 minutes and we'll be into the topic. Val and Greymoon, first fist respectos, sir. Thank you for joining me. Thurston Howell III, hello to you. David B, evening. Kevin, evening as well. My living room is virtual, bro. And why? Because it was the maid's day off, so it was virtual. Yankee Doodle was disappointed that I got kicked off. Probably the best thing, I was on Archie. Someone paid $250 to get rid of me, not for the night, but for like the next 6 weeks. So will I even go back on? Why would I do that? I think I'm better off Rebel streaming. I mean, heck, if someone sends me $1, your super chat is a vote to send Archie home. If someone sends me $1, well, that's one less dollar than Archie gets. So, yeah, the heck with him. Okay. Not first, but not last either. Educating Selena, thanks for joining me. Did I get a challenge yet? That's what I want to talk about, MV. We're going to talk about the challenge and my evolving opinion on this watch. I stopped watching AC3. Nothing to do with watches. All about e-begging, zero talent, zero knowledge. It's kind of the issue there. I mean, it's a bunch of people that just kind of irritate, if you will. I mean, Archie at his finest. If he has Clyde on, Bear. When Bear Clooney is on the show, is watchable. Without Bear or Archie, without one of those two, it's an unwatchable show. Mark has a nice house. I do, David. It's virtual, but thank you. Hello from Toronto. I am in the Chicago burbs. Ron wants a wrench. Ron, I don't know how to do it. Ron, I don't know how to do it. I mean, I don't think I can do it through StreamYard. I think I don't know. I don't know how to do it, Ron. I can't. I don't think I can do it on StreamYard. I got to go into I gotta go into YouTube in order to do it. That's crap. Archie's chat and punter are toxic. Yeah, it's a pretty lame show. I mean, how about that? How about that robbery? What do you guys think about that robbery? Inside job. Mark, so glad to see you are on. Thanks, Jack. Thanks so much for joining me. I do have a sick pack, Ron. You know what? You should come visit me. I heard a dirty rumor that you're coming back to Chicago for a visit. Ron the Shrink deserves a wrench. Indeed, he does. I just don't know how to do it on the StreamYard app. I think I got to go into YouTube to do it. All right, hold on, Ron. For God's sakes, the punchers seem to be demanding it. Let me see if I can go into YouTube and figure this out. So bear with. Go to my channel. Find me live. Then I got to, Ron, post something up right now. Ron, you got to say something. Then I'll see you come up on the comments in the app. And then in theory, I can give you a wrench. Add moderator. Okay, Ron, theoretically, you are now a moderator. Anybody else wants a mod? Anybody else wants a wrench? It's going to be $10. Super chat 10, and then you're a moderator until you piss me off, and then you're gone. So, don't be nasty. Jingly Jangly Jubilee. Oh, speaking of Jingly Jangly Jubilee, I ordered, I am very, very late to the Seiko SKX on the Jingly Jangly Jubilee bracelet, but I'll be a member of that club pretty soon. Yes, you click make admin in YouTube chat. Right, but Grobnob, here's the thing. I'm mostly looking at StreamYard. Here's my phone. And I'm looking, at the computer, which is in StreamYard. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But thank you. I did get it done. Dog training is lucrative. Hawkeye, it's like anything else. You have people who are successful in their careers and own their own companies. I mean, drywalling. Let's take drywalling as an example. I mean, if you're a drywall installer and you're working for $22 an hour and you're busting your hump and killing your back and getting dust in your eyes, maybe not a big deal. What if you own the drywalling company? What if you're the biggest, best What if you write books that the other drywallers want to read? So, it's like anything else. I'm a successful entrepreneur. That's where it is. Craig, where can we buy your book, The Art of Training Your Dog? All of my books are available at barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com, audible.com, wherever you would buy a book. I mean, you can go on to amazon.com, put Mark Goldberg into the search box on Amazon, and you'll get a variety of my books. And the third one coming next fall. Post. I don't know. Oh, yes. I told you to post. All right. Well, you got a wrench now, I believe, as far as I know. Grabnob on the heart or the heart to destroy Louis Vuitton. Yeah, I don't care about that stuff, honestly. Like Steam Toys, Louis Vuitton, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? My name is Ron. Mark, how you doing? Okay. Don wants a recount. Ron with his wrench, his veins are flowing. Just don't ban 100 people. Ron, you have a bad reputation. I heard you went on the. This is hysterical. Ron had a wrench over on the Tim Wright channel, and he banned all the users, like hundreds of them. I think that's freaking ridiculous. You're welcome. Valen Greymoon has the power. You know what, Valen? You're getting a wrench too, buddy. Give me a second. I got to figure it out. Valen, hold on, Valen. Oh, Valen, you already had a wrench. So, Valen, respect those to you. You had a wrench. I was going to give you one. The new SKX GMT is sick, honestly. Well, I'm buying from off of eBay, and I got like $250, I think. Yeah, right around $250. I got an SKX 009, which is the one with like the Pepsi looking bezel, and it's on a brand new jingly jangly crappy Jubilee bracelet. But I never had one, so I think that'll be kind of fun to get. Okay, let's see. Yeah, meow training is where the money's at. If I could train a cat, you're right. I'd probably just buy my own private island. You got me. I know about dogs. My dog Fenwick is gloriously untrained but well socialized. Well, that's probably the most important piece of all. I've seen dogs that were well trained but unsocialized, and they're actually, I feel like they're kind of harder to live with. All right. Ron is saying, Mark, we'll do dinner whether Jen can make it or not. That would be good. So have your people call my people. Okay. Well, look, guys, let me let's do the following. I want to kind of tell you my thinking on the new Rolex challenge, and then put your Rolex questions, comments, whether they're questions or comments about the challenge or any of the relatively recent models up there. Just put your questions up so that we get a little interaction going on here. So here's the interesting thing. Through sources who I cannot name, who are better connected than me these days, not Moneypenny. Moneypenny, dear God, if you're still alive, please get in touch with me. markgoldberg8@gmail.com. But through a source, all I'm going to say is this is a friend of mine who has a great channel. And that's all I can say. I heard about the Rolex challenge before the Rolex challenge was issued, which meant what I heard was a credible rumor, credible threat. And maybe hours before it came out, I only know one person who has the discretion that I could tell a rumor to without burning my source. Because, you got sources, you don't want to burn them. And my source didn't want to burn his or her source. All completely understandable. So I talked to an individual highly placed at an AD who I have extreme confidence in, who heard nothing about it, nothing about the challenge, but who I told about the challenge. So I informed the AD about it before Rolex did. So thank you to my unnamed source, but we're going to keep all that quiet. But what happened was, not that indebted, the AD to me, but nonetheless, they did call me when they got one, because I told them immediately, like, put me on the list, I want one. And then they got one. They just weren't sure if it was already committed yet, or like if I can have it. And the rumor is that first, let's define what is the challenge. The James Cameron Deep Sea? Yeah, it's like significantly larger than that. And the James Cameron, which I have, is like wearing a hockey puck on your wrist. This thing is enormous. It's a 50. James Cameron is 44 millimeter. The Challenger is 50 millimeter. So, it's going to look like an Invicta almost. 50 millimeter, made out of titanium, which theoretically should make it so-called light. Yeah, it's not that light. It's almost 300 grams, which is insanely heavy. It's just that it would probably weigh a pound or more if it was made of stainless steel, because it's so big and it's so thick. So anyway, my AD called me and he said, we have one, but I don't think you're going to like it. And I said, well, tell me about it. Why do you think that? Or maybe I should get in the car. And he goes, well, you can get in the car. You can come look at it. But I don't think you're going to like it. And I said, well, tell me why. And he said, well, first off, it's super thick and it's pretty heavy. And this is a guy who knows my taste. So I really trust his view on what I'm going to like and not like. And what he told me was, remember, the challenge has no date. And what he said was the dial of the challenge looked smaller than the dial of, let's say, an Explorer 2. And that's because there's so much bezel and there's so much rehaut. And then there's the 3-ring gas, system. And he said, so actually it's an interesting watch. The engineering on it is incredibly, insanely good. But he said the dial looks particularly small. And I thought about it and I thought, do I really want a $26,000 collector piece that I barely will be able to wear, that weighs, Alexa, convert 300 grams to ounces.
300 grams is about 11 ounces.
I hope you could hear Alexa. She said that 300 grams is 11 ounces. Well, there's 16 ounces to the pounds. That's like what, 3/4 of a pound? Think about it. When you go to the deli and you order half a pound of roast beef, it's like more than that, on your wrist. And it's ginormous. And I only have, guys, these are beautiful, flat-boned wrists. I'm going to show you up close and personal so you can you could slow this video down and, touch yourself looking at this beautiful set of wrists. But the problem is that if there's a 50, it's going to overlap me a little bit, and it's going to be too heavy, and the dial is going to look small. So what you're buying is a collector's piece. It's not a piece that you're going to wear. It's not a piece that you're going to enjoy. I would lose my trademark saying "feel the steel," because it's titanium. It's not even steel. And so I would pull it out of the safe every once in a blue moon to wear it for a little here and there to impress. But I thought about it and I thought, $26,000. It's absolutely worth it if you're super cut cash flush, which right now I'm trying to recuperate from a massive October. Oh my God, it was terrible. I'm recuperating from like a massive October tax bill. I sold a property for large capital gains, and so that hit all at once. And my stock guy sold a bunch of stock before for large capital gains. So the feds just fisted me, and so it's just not the best time for me to spend $26,000 on a bauble that I'm hardly ever going to wear a month after I bought a Sprite from the AD and then a Pepsi on the gray market. So I think I'd rather hold out for another large watch that is steel that I actually can wear, and that would be the Sky Dweller. So I think I would rather just kind of hold out, guys, on a Sky Dweller. This is just me. I'd rather hold out for a steel Sky Dweller right now than a titanium challenge. Now, let's look ahead 10 or 15 years. I'll be a really old man. I'll be a little decrepit old man, by then. But if we shoot ahead, where is the, I hate to talk about it in terms of investment potential, but where's the real value retention? Where's the upside potential? Where's the blue sky between a steel Sky Dweller and a titanium challenge? Well, my best guess is the titanium challenge has the room because it's going to be such an oddball. Honestly, I don't think most ADs are going to see more than 2 or 3 in a year. And some ADs may see 1 a year, and small ADs may see none. But here, you're going to hear this on Goldberg first. The reality is that here's what we know. Rolex, prior to the challenge, only made the case back of the Deep Sea Dweller in titanium. That's the only piece that they've ever done in titanium. However, they have now made the challenge case, bracelet, everything except for the case back, which is steel. You can't have a steel watch you can have a steel watch with a titanium case back, but you cannot have a titanium watch with a steel case back. Excuse me. Let me start again. You can have a titanium watch with a steel case back, but you cannot have a titanium watch with a titanium case back. You need steel. You need the differential between the metals on the case back. So on the titanium challenge, there's a steel case back. But here's what we know. This means that they invested in the tools and dies and machining equipment to pull a titanium watch case and bracelet, which they have never done before. Oddly, Tudor did it. Tudor did it a long time ago, 5 years ago, with the 42 millimeter Pelagos. I have the blue one. But Rolex had never done it before, so I think Rolex kind of uses Tudor as like the canary in the coal mine. They use them as kind of like the guinea pig. And Tudor perfected it. Rolex followed along behind, and now they're making the challenge out of titanium. Do you think that they would have outfitted a factory with a line to produce titanium cases, titanium clasps, titanium bracelets, and only do this ridiculous challenge that they have no intention of making more than a couple few thousand of them per year? No way. Mark Vlogs Watches, it is here that you heard it first. Rolex will be introducing more titanium watches in the future. How long is it going to take? My best guess would be 2 to 3 years. 2, 3 years. in 2 to 3 years, you're going to see another model. What do I think it will be that will come out in titanium? Will it be a brand new model, titanium only, like the Challenge? No, I don't think so. I think that what Rolex is going to do is they're going to take one of their current models and they're going to offer a titanium version. And I suspect that what that's going to be, do we know for sure? We don't. But I think it'll be a 42 millimeter titanium Yachtmaster. That's what I think is going to happen here. Will we ever see a titanium sub? I think a titanium sub is a good 5 to 10 years away. But yeah, I think we will see gold, steel, two-tone, titanium. I think we're going to see a lot of changes coming out. William Rizzo says it's going to be a titanium Cellini. I don't think so. Ron says a titanium. Where are we? Where are you, Ron? A titanium Yachtmaster. Yeah, that would be my prediction. I don't think that you will ever see a titanium Cellini, and that's because Cellini is the dress watch division of Rolex, and titanium is distinctly not dressy. It's gray. In fact, this is really what I don't like about titanium. I like the weight of it. It's like 60% lighter than steel and 40% stronger than steel, something like that. But it's very dull. It's very gray, so I don't really like it. Scott's guess is that titanium Milgauss is most likely. Maybe, but I think they're likelier to discontinue the Milgauss than to make it out of something else, like titanium. Valen, I would say the chances of bronze are extremely unlikely. Rolex has done everything that they could to stop patina from happening. And that's why their bezels are ceramic. There's no more spider dials. Like everything Rolex has done has been to stop patina in its tracks, and bronze is nothing but patina. So I don't think so. Okay. Well, guys. And Groundhog Day says the price point is off-putting, referring to the 26,000 on the Challenge. I agree, it's off-putting, but it doesn't really matter. And the reason that I say it doesn't matter is because they're only going to make a couple, and it's not really for your run-of-the-mill watch guy. It's for the guy who has to have the biggest, the baddest, the best, the stuff that like nobody else could possibly see. Craig Shit says, I could see Don Haynes. I was talking to Donnie just earlier today. I could see Don, because Don's got giant gorilla wrists. Don, when Don buys a watch, he has to check out the bracelet and you know how when like really fat guys get onto an airplane, they need the extension for the seatbelt. Don needs that. Don needs those. For bracelets, he's always angry because he got by extra lengths. He's not that he's fat. He's just a big boy. Just a big boy. I have the new titanium 50 fathoms, not dull, beautifully finished, fantastic machine. That's good to know, Maison. And tell me, is that grade 5? Like, how do they achieve that? Because even the grade 5 Challenge, to my eye, is kind of dull. So it'd be interesting to know like how they achieve it. I mean, if you could give me the brightness of stainless steel in titanium, but with titanium weight, I think that would be great. I mean, I do like my titanium Pelagos, but it's not a light watch. It's at least 150, 160 grams. It's just that it would weigh 250 if it weren't titanium. Grade 2. Well, then it has something to do with the finishing, I suppose. Who knows? I agree that they've polished it nicely, that Rolex is going to do whatever they do better than anybody else. So they're really probably a lot more concerned with the finishing than Tudor would be. Chamfers on the Challenge look great. I really do want to see it in person. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I wouldn't want to own one. Because of course I would want to own one. The problem is, I mean, for the price of one Challenge, I could buy, in theory, I mean, if you could buy from the AD, and I'm just lucky enough to have a reasonably good relationship with my AD, thanks be unto them. For some godforsaken reason, they like me. But I mean, I could buy for the $26,000, man. I think I could buy like you're in the territory where you could buy a steel Sky Dweller and a two-tone bluesy. I mean, or certainly a steel Sky Dweller and a steel 41 millimeter Submariner. So the price puts me off mostly because I couldn't wear it. I mean, I spent double that. Well, not quite double that, but I spent significantly more than that for like the full gold Submariner. But like, and I don't know if I would do that again. I mean, it's an amazing piece. Look, I just did the Home Alone. The full gold Submariner is an amazing piece, and it's eminently wearable in terms of its size, but it's a bit of a scratch magnet, and it's also like, you know, kind of like a robbery risk. So I feel like I'm a little limited, you know, about where I would wear it. Ron says that Grand Seiko does titanium better than anyone. I'm really not familiar with any of their titanium stuff. Well, come to think of it, I take that back. I have the here, I'll show you. I have one of the Grand Seiko divers in steel, but the same diver. Oh, I just deleted it. Hang on, let's go to deleted items, and I'll show you my Grand Seiko. Here we go. Where are you? Gosh, where'd it go? Well, this delay is brought to you courtesy of Grand Seiko. I don't know where I put it. I don't know where my picture went. Hang on. I'll find it. Now I'm on a quest. Oh, guys, I do want to show you another watch on my wrist, and we'll see, you know, what you think. Well, this is that's the full gold Submariner. You can't wear it everywhere, but I wore it to Thanksgiving. I trusted my family, or my boyfriend's family. They're a little shady, but I did my best. Man, guys, I don't know where the Grand Seiko went. I had a picture of it somewhere, but let me show you this one. See, what do you think? That is the Santos. Come on. What's going on? Here we go. It's the Cartier Santos in blue. I kind of liked it. Let me show you another picture of it. That was me at the AD. I mean, I kind of like it. What do y'all think? Am I a Cartier kind of guy? I mean, it is a sports watch, right? And then this is, I got that one off of the Rancher. I did not buy that new. It's the Tudor Panda, but I got it from the Rancher. Would I ever buy a Longa as a dress piece? Which models, if any, do you like? Well, Alexander, no, I wouldn't. I don't think I own a single dress watch. I like sports watches. I like watches that are really robust. Now, that being said, there's two Longas that I really like, but I feel like I'm unlikely to ever really acquire. One is, I like that. Is it the Odyssey or the Odysseus? I think it's the Odyssey. It's a fairly new release in steel. It's just, I think they're pretty hard to get. And I think what, $25,000, $28,000, $30,000, which I think is nuts for a watch that, you know, I think it's cool. Don't get me wrong. And then the Zeitwerk, which is, I think, 100 plus. So I do not think I am ever going to be in the market. What is an ultra deep Omega? An Omega Simp? Is it that's the Omega? No, don't get me wrong. There's a couple of Omegas that I like, but I'm not jumping that deep down the Omega rabbit hole. I do like the Seamaster 300. I have this in black and white. I also used to own it in that chrome. But no, I'm not jumping down the rabbit hole that. Yeah. So Scott, I did try on the Santos medium, and I felt like the large, which is what I showed you. I felt like the large wears a little large on me, and I felt like the medium wore a little small on me. So what I need is the medium plus, which they don't make. Ned Flanders also has that Chrono Panda, the Tudor. I like it as well. I like it too. Ned, I don't wear it that often. I don't know why. I think I think I don't wear it that often because it doesn't have the fidget spinner. I mean, yes, it's a chronograph and it has pushers, but I like things that have fidget spinners, meaning bezels. What can you do? Did Watch Nicholas end his live stream today? I don't even know who that is. The stainless steel Odysseus, where'd it go? Goes for like 100 on the aftermarket. Well, we'd have to look at Chrono if that's true. That's like incredible because what is that, like 4x over MSRP? That's crazy. So I don't even like it at 25,000. I admire Lange, but I don't think I'm a Lange guy. I think for a tiny fraction of that, you can get an awful lot of prestige with a Cartier. So Odysseus, it's the Odysseus. You have to have bought previously from A. Lange and Sonne. I get it. I mean, it's sort of like buying a Rolex. You need the dealer relationship already established. It's like buying a Ferrari. You need you need it already. You need it already established. The Saxonia Thin is an incredible watch, and I will own one day. Well, Ron, you are a shrink, and I feel like you should ultimately be able to get whatever it is that you want. Oh, so Grubnob mostly wears his Seiko Monster from 03 as Fenwick eats rubber straps. Well, okay. I have a confession to make. I'm going to air my dirty underwear, my dirty laundry. Grubnob, I hope you won't think less of me, but I'm going to air some dirty laundry right now. So I have had a couple in the past, you know who turned me on to the monsters, the Seiko monsters, was none other than Random Rob. Great guy, great channel, terrific guy. I really, really, really like Random Rob and his channel. And Random Rob went through his Seiko monster period, much the way Picasso went through his, blue period, and the way Van Gogh went through his no ear period. And in that era, I just watched so much Random Rob talking about those freaking monsters that I ended up with a couple of them. And stupidly, I kind of cycled through them and sold them back on eBay, which I finally got. My eBay account was suspended for a really long time. For selling because I didn't hook my bank account up. But I finally went through the process. I thought it was going to be awful, but it took me like 10 seconds. So I got a lot of crap that I want to sell on eBay. But sadly, I had sold off my monsters, and then I just came across the Heimdaller, which is like basically a Seiko homage, but they're like exact. Actually, the Heimdaller, Heimdallr, is a Chinese knockoff of a bunch of different Seiko watches, but they did the monster better than Seiko did it, because Seiko puts Hardlex crystal on theirs, and Heimdallr put, and they're identical. You'd be very hard pressed to tell them apart. Heimdallr, this little micro brand knockoff homage company, they put what did they put? They put sapphire on there, and then but it's a 1-to-1. I mean, they are exact, including also the bracelets, which are exact, except for really the monster had two fatal flaws. The Seiko monster got two fatal flaws. Well, three. One, the price. They've just gotten stupid now. When you could buy and sell and trade them for $250, okay, fine, but they've exceeded that, which means that they're way over their value point right now, because they're discontinued. And by the way, I'm talking about the second gen with the shark tooth. Those are the ones that I really like, the second gen. And now they're on the fourth gen. Talking about rabbit holes, we just jumped down a Seiko rabbit hole. Okay, so here we are. Anyway, Heimdallr replaced that mineral crystal or Hardlex with sapphire, and then that crappy pressed stamped metal clasp, they replaced it with a milled clasp. So this is one of those really rare instances in which the homage watch has better quality than the original, which they are homaging. And I have one coming off of eBay. No, off of I have one coming to me in orange, so it'd be the orange. I don't want to go spend $800 on an orange Gen 2 Seiko Monster with a pressed clasp and a scratched up mineral crystal. So for on a I just accidentally came across it on Amazon. Heimdallr Monster Homage, which they call the Shark or the Sharky. And it was on a Black Friday special for, I think, $150. But listen, guys, it has an NH35 movement in it, which is as good or better than as the movement that the actual Monster has. So anyway, I'm excited. I'm waiting to get it. So Grobnob, really, that was a long way of me saying I'm also a Monster guy, and I'm kind of excited to finally kind of get back into what looks like a Monster. Watches are the worst thing you can buy. Try selling a watch and you'll lose money on any of them. Well, that is often and largely true, but not entirely. Even you can lose money on Rolex if you don't know what you're doing. If you do know what you're doing, well, you could at least retain value. I never set out, and I have successfully not made money on watches. But what I try and do is be able to experience a watch or a brand for a period of time. And then when I want to recycle the dollars so that I can experience something else, that I don't lose my ass. That's all I ask. When you trade in and out of cars, you will lose your shorts. Unless you got really lucky with a classic vintage car and you didn't mess it up somehow. So that's the point I guess I'm trying to make is, for me, I'm not trying to make money on watches. I'm just trying to not lose too much so that I can afford to recycle and experience new things as time goes on. And I don't mind losing a little bit on some watches. And then other watches tend to make up for it. I'm probably on Rolex. Anything I bought from an AD, I still own. Since 1987, the first one I bought from an AD, I still own. But I bought plenty of them on the secondary market. And I've either gotten my money out, made a little money, or lost a little money, but didn't pay a lot for being able to experience that, that watch. Omega likes the best Tudor is the Pelagos FDX. I cannot agree. Well, for me, this is all personal taste, but what I really don't like about the FDX is the fact that it's fixed lugs. So you can't use bracelets. You just got to use some version of a NATO strap. And I hate straps. I've God almighty, I'm so envious of you people who can wear a rubber strap or a NATO. I just can't wear them. And that entirely has to do with the configuration of my wrist, which was built for bracelets. Maison, if I was somehow to afford an Odysseus, the white gold gray dial. I mean, honestly, it's an incredible watch, but these are in Grail territory, and I got to agree. I'm with you there. The Seiko Monster looks like it fell off the Millennium Falcon. I don't know what that means, but I think it's super cool. Now, Ned's talking to GP about value, that you're going to lose value. Just because most lose value is no reason not to collect them. Well, you only lose value, Ned and GP, if you sell them. If you buy something for $800 or $8,000 and you keep it, you didn't lose any value whatsoever. It's the nature of boys, okay? We are like boys with our toys. And it's our tendency to get bored and to trade them or sell them, which typically we will lose value if we do that. And then we miss them and we buy them back at higher prices than what we sold. This is where we get into trouble, guys. Don't get bored with your watches. Ron has a 7.5-inch wrist. This is a 7.25-inch wrist. Ron, if you get a 36 millimeter Datejust, it's going to look small on you. End of story. You're going to look like a little old man. Grobnob has the first gen Seiko. Well, those are collectible now. I just like the shark tooth shape of the indices on the second gen. That's why. Because that first gen, third gen, and fourth gen. I mean, if you're a real Seiko specialist, you can tell them apart. But I myself can't. Ned Flanders says that his refrigerator doesn't gain in value, but he likes having it. Grabnob, yes, yes. Go look for a second gen orange monster and tell me what they cost. No, they are not $250. Doxa, Tuna wants to know what I think about Doxa. Some nice color combinations. I have two Doxa, or is it Doxas? Doxum, Doxi. I got two of them. I shouldn't have bought the second one. I bought the icon of the line, and I should have stopped there. The icon of the Doxa line, which I purchased, and I do like it. I don't often wear it, but when I do, I appreciate it, is the Doxa 300 sub orange dial. That is the absolute icon of the range. And I owned that for a few years, and then I got the Doxa sub 200 in turquoise or Tiffany blue for, what is it, like $900, and it's a nice watch, but it's a reissue, and I think it's inadequate. I don't think it's that nice for $1,000. If it was 500, I'd like it better. So anyway, you lose money if you go on a public holiday and don't insure properly or use a bank deposit box. That is for sure. Grabnob poking Archie in his, well, I would say poking Archie in the ribs, but you couldn't get to the ribs. You'd have to go through a few layers of blubber first. So guys, this is a Rebel stream because I got bought off of Archie for like something like 6 weeks. I don't even know if I'll go back in 6 months. I think this is more fun. Do me a favor and hit the like button while you're sitting around here doing nothing. Hit the like. And oh, by the way, if you don't subscribe to me, do it. I not only do focused live streams like this one where we actually talk watches, but also I do short videos of watch reviews. Groundhog Day says I am overdue for a state of the collection vid, and indeed I am, because I have never done one, not once, not ever, and I never will. And I'll tell you why. I have too many. They're too random, and I literally don't even know the count. I don't know the body count, and I don't want to know. Junior, hello from Michigan. William Rizzo reminding us of the words of Blue Shirt Buddha, the dearly departed: never sell Rolex, never sell Rolex, never sell Rolex. And he was absolutely right about that. 36 millimeters isn't small. It's old school. Yeah, and he's not that old. That's the problem there. He's younger than you and I, Grabnob. My first Rolex was 34 millimeter. I still have it. It's a 34 millimeter date. It's a cute little watch, but it's kind of little. Richard Greenberg visited my AD last week. They have Rolex watches. Wow, that's cool. Where is your AD? Where are you? I was offered a sub, a deep sea, an Explorer 2, and a Milgauss. I was shocked. Oh, Toronto. I think the Toronto economy is really hurting the AD. That's amazing, because when I was reading this and it said that they have Rolex watches, I thought you were going to say, yeah, for exhibition. The fact that they have those available for sale, that's amazing. I mean, which of those would I buy? I have this. How many subs do I have, guys? The gold, the green, Hulk, the black. So I got 3 subs. I do have a deep sea, the 43 millimeter. I also have that's the Sea Dweller. I do have the deep sea James Cameron. So I got that one. I did have an Explorer 2. I'm not interested in a Milgauss. I sold my Explorer 2 back when market to sell it was $6,500. So that's what I got for it. I think I paid $6, made a couple shekels. Enjoyed it, and then just got bored with it. Why did I get bored with it? Stupid. I think, Richard, depending on what you already have would determine whether I would get any of those or not. But if I didn't have any Rolexes, I would start with the sub, because it's the icon of the line. If I already had a sub, I'd get an Explorer 2. That's what I would do. The orange dial doxa is pretty badass. It is so freaking iconic that I feel like it's a watch that belongs in most collectors' collections. William Rizzo, Blue Sky Dweller. Well, okay, so truth be known, if I were offered the challenge or a Blue Sky Dweller, I'm taking the Blue Sky Dweller. I think if you shoot ahead 5, 10, 15 years, the challenge is going to be more, it's going to have a higher resale than the Blue Sky Dweller. But the Blue Sky Dweller I can wear. I've worn it. I've worn the Sky Dweller. I bought a two-tone in the used market, sold it for a profit after enjoying it for a while. Why did I sell it? Because I got bored with it, and it was two-tone. And I didn't want a two-tone. I want a steel one. But I kind of missed that two-tone one. It was a pretty cool watch, guys. So I'm hoping for a Blue Sky Dweller or a root beer next. I guess would be my thinking. Junior Johnson upvoted. Thumbs up. Thank you, Junior Johnson. The rest of you guys, please hit me with a thumbs up also. I really appreciate it. Exhibit X, Mark, thanks for sharing your years of passion. I have a Rolex Deep Sea Sea Dweller 126660 with many thanks to your videos. Thanks, Exhibit. I'm so glad to know that you guys are watching and with me. I really appreciate that. Of course, my Sea Dweller is the James Cameron, the blue one, the 11660, slightly narrower bracelet, but I can't imagine there's much difference. People complain it's top heavy. I don't find it so. I find it thick, not top heavy. Richard Greenberg, now this was the fella in Toronto that was offered all those different Rolexes. I was thinking about the Explorer 2, but it was black. I want the white. I can't disagree with you there. I feel like the black is a bit more versatile in the sense that the white is super sporty looking. The black one, I feel like you could match it up with a suit a little bit easier, but yeah, I'm with you. The white. I thought you did a state of the collection or a series. Never, not me. A lot of people prefer the black. And my AD wears a black one. I mean, he could buy any Rolex he wants. His watch of choice is the black Explorer 2, and it is beautiful. Take a moment and thumbs up. Thank you, Exhibit. Appreciate that. Mark, when I saw a few videos of yours, I didn't subscribe because I thought you were weird. Well, I am. But then you realize that you're pretty weird. Well, that makes two of us. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I guess the reality of it is a little of me goes a long way. I have kind of a strong personality and, a sarcasmic sense of humor. So at the end of the day, I feel like a little of me goes a long way. So people who don't like me, well, I'm pretty well used to that since birth. But those of you who are with me and supportive of me, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And you are the guys that I focus on. I started this YouTube nonsense 4 or 5 years ago because people like Andy Hunter, were doing it, and I really enjoyed their channels. May he rest in peace. And here I am 5 years later with almost 26,000 subscribers and coming up. I can't remember if I'm coming up on 6 million views or 7 million views, but it's like, it's insanity to me that we're measuring my views in the multiple millions. Crazy. I'm just a loudmouth with an opinion. So I sure appreciate you being here with me. My thoughts on the tiff between Oshin and Gringa. I couldn't even begin to tell you. Look, guys, here is a YouTube secret. If you make videos on YouTube watches, you don't watch videos on YouTube watches. You watch other stuff. I'm like an addict for these expats that live in the Philippines and in Thailand, and that's what I mostly watch. Now, do I end up watching watch videos based on a specific model that I'm interested in? Constantly. So I very frequently will see a video by Bruce Williams or Mavericks, Mav's dad watches. I see Random Rob quite a bit. And I have seen both Oshin and Watch Gringo. when I'm researching a particular model. But when your creativity goes into creating videos, I feel like the cops don't watch cop programs. The cops watch hospital programs, doctor programs when they get off shift. Okay. And I feel like when they get out of the hospital, the doctors don't watch doctor medical programs. They watch cop programs, which is why, by the way, I can't stand. Listen, I train dogs and I write books about dogs. My first two books, Let Dogs Be Dogs, The Art of Training Your Dog, available wherever books are sold globally on Kindle and iTunes and all like that, Audible. And then my new one, I can't tell you the title of it yet, but it'll be out next autumn. But what I can't do is watch dog programming. I can't watch dog programming because like I got to clear my mind of all that stuff. So I really don't know what's going on between Ocean and Watch Gringa. What I can say is I have seen videos by both of them and like them both. So if I didn't, I would tell you because I am brutally honest about the people I don't like. Archie. But yeah, I like both those guys. Okay, so Richard has the sub and a root beer and a Milgauss. Well, I feel like after that purchase history, I might just put yourself on the list for like any GMT that comes in. Probably the easiest one to get would be the Batman or the Batgirl. That'd probably be the easiest. You're not going to get a steel Daytona anytime soon, but I feel like you could probably get yourself. Well, no, you got a root beer already, so you could be done with GMT. What do you want next? That's tough, man. I think I'd be holding out now for maybe an OP41 just for something different, which I think you could easily qualify for. My pick between the Hulk and the Starbucks, absolutely, Jamal, totally 100% be the Hulk. Look, the whole personal taste thing comes into play here. But guys, if you're going to go green, man, go green. Rolex mixes gold dust into the paint to achieve the starburst green dial of the Hulk. And if you go back through all my old videos, you'll find a bunch of Hulk videos. And I show it in various lights. And in office lighting, it's going to look black. The bezel will look maybe a little green, but the dial is going to look completely black. But then you get out into the direct sunlight, and that thing just explodes with color. And then the difference, so it's a far more interesting watch. I feel like the Starbucks is just so much more conservative. And Rolex is a conservative company. They almost never do anything fun, but they did this massively fun watch with the Hulk, and they did it for 10 years and then discontinued it. So I just think it's very rare that they do something whimsical, and it's Rolex green, and it was the 10-year anniversary color, or not 10-year, 50th anniversary color, and they did it for 10 years. I don't know, man. Hulk, 100% Hulk. Now, when you're comparing the fact that the Hulk is 40 millimeters and the Starbucks is 41 millimeters, the differences are so minor. There's a little bit of additional elegance to the lug of the 41 millimeter, and thus the Starbucks slightly more tapered, slightly more elegant. But I think that that's offset by the fact that when you like turn it over and you look at the clasp is just brutally wide and large, and it just takes up the whole bottom of your wrist on those 41s, whereas the taper on the bracelet and on the clasp of the 40 millimeter subs are beautiful, way nicer than the 40 millimeter, which are just, I feel like, swollen and grossly oversized. So just not even did I give you the idea? Hulk. And the Hulk is down to like from its high of like 30 into the low 20s right now. So I think the Hulk is just a great buy right now. Although, again, if you go through my old videos and you look up Hulk, you will see where I was begging you people to buy them when they briefly hit 12 a couple of years ago. They just troughed down to 12, and I made a whole video on, if you want a Hulk, buy it right now. And a few of you listened to me, I know, because I got comments and emails. And so some of you bought Hulks right at $12,000. Crazy. As you're a public figure, not doing a state of the collection and avoiding effectively advertising what you got is a wise move. Well, I wish I could claim that it was out of smarts because I've made videos on so much of the big stuff that I have, but my stuff lives in the bank, Who the F is Aiden, Odin, Rich Buddy, Ocean, and Watch Gringa are two watch channels. A dude from Ireland living in Venice, who I do like his channel. And Watch Gringa, I don't really know where she is, but she's just such a charming, such a charming woman making really fun videos. Guys, I'm going to take a quick break. Don't move. Actually, let me just sign off. And thanks for having been with me. We've been here almost an hour. 77 of you in the room at this time. Keep coming back. Keep an eye and go ahead and subscribe. Goldberg, peace out.